Hello everybody, welcome to another great episode of Distilled, Brewed, and Reviewed. I've been waiting for this Smoke Wagon bourbon for a long time. It wasn't sold in my state. And then who finds it? Who comes in? It's easy to guess. Yes, Jeff, my co-worker, my friend, a man who has lent me, I think this is the 7th bourbon to review for the channel. He is truly a bourbon aficionado. He buys all kinds of bourbons. He always lets me taste them and put them on the channel because he enjoys the channel and he just likes to buy bourbon. And I mean, it's fantastic. Number 7. It's unbelievable what he's doing. And he found the one I was looking for forever. This is actually a limited edition bottle. It's got the pumpkin. All right, let's go through this a little bit. What's it say? First off, it is 46.25 proof. All right, 92.5. Well, I'm sorry, 92.5 proof, 46.25 ABV. All right, I'm gonna read you something about it. This is from Nevada, but is distilled. The distillery is in Nevada, in Las Vegas. It is distilled in Indiana, MGP. All right. It was established in 2012. It is known as the Nevada H&C Distilling Company. It's in Las Vegas, and their original plan. It's kind of cool what happened here. So. Let's see here. Initial plan to source aged bourbon stocks from MGP in Indiana, as well as distill their own whiskey, all right, from scratch. So they were going to get it from Indiana, start making their own, and when their own aged enough, then they can use it. I guess stop getting it from Indiana. But Nevada changed the laws and said you will either source the whiskey from somewhere, or you can make it from scratch, but you can't do both. Okay, if you know anything about liquor laws, God, they're just Anyway, so they had to make a tough decision according to this: either distill from scratch, or use the 2,000 barrels of prime MGP bourbon they had sourced already. All right. So they decided to go with the sourced whiskey. And in 2016, they launched their pioneer product, Smoke Wagon Small Batch Bourbon, named after, what does Smoke Wagon mean? It's named after an 1873 Colt single-action Army revolver, also known as the gun that won the West. That's what a Smoke Wagon is. To make some other stuff, cool little stories, some other bourbons, a vodka. The motto of this bourbon, and it's on the label, it is in Latin, and the translation from that Latin saying, which I cannot read. Yeah, I can. Bibanimus moriendum. It means drink, for we must die. Today, the company continues to contract-distill bourbon at MSP, which is then aged in MGP, which is then aged in MGP's warehouses and imported as needed. By varying the age, warehouse floors, and barrel positions, they blend to achieve the respective profiles for their bourbon whiskeys. Let's see here. As far as this one goes, it was released in the fall of 2019. Straight Bourbon Whiskey is the brand's entry-level bourbon. It's about $30-something. Created with the vision of an affordable everyday bourbon that maintained the unique and unmistakable Smoke Wagon profile. The barrels chosen for this bottling came from the top 2 floors of the warehouse and were never rotated. Due to the higher heat at the top 2 floors of the warehouse during the summer, This whiskey matured at a quicker pace than is standard, according to the brand's website. Okay. The original label is really cool. This is the Halloween label. Special edition label. There's the smoke wagons, those guns. It's a cool story. Seems to be cool people that are running the place. Did I make sure I got my Glencairn, my glass? So let's get into it. Let's get into it. Smoke wagon. Looked for it forever. Oh, interesting. So this is 60% corn, right? 60, that's very low. 36% rye, that is high, and 4% malted barley. This is a very high rye bourbon. So, let's see what we got here. Straight bourbon whiskey, so we know it's at least 2 years old. It's 2 years, that's what they said. You know, it is surprisingly sweet for only 60% corn, right? Rye is generally hot, peppery. Get the baking spices, right? All the cinnamon and nutmeg and the allspice from rye. But yet I'm getting a sweetness off this that usually comes from the corn. Now, I don't know what char level this is for the barrel. And I don't know anything about the barrels. I don't know if they've sweated, they've toasted it first, they've sweated out some of those sugars. I don't know. It smells way sweeter than I thought it would. So it's got that sweet brown sugar, vanilla, very prominent. It smells good. Just the backdrop of the wood. Smoke from smoke wagon. No, it does smell smoky. From the char of the barrel. I'm telling you, it's like cinnamon toast. Very, very pleasing. A little bit of maple syrup. It smells so good. It smells good. Let's give it a taste. I hope it tastes like it smells. That, my friends, would be fantastic. By the way, this is non-chill filtered. It does have a nice mouthfeel. I remember reading that somewhere. I'm going for the taste. I was just kind of doing an acclimation sip, right? Tell you right now. So this is not made at the distillery. They source it. They tell them what they want. They tell them what rye they want. What mash bill. The high rye. They tell them how long they want it aged. They tell them the barrel char. They make it for them in Indiana. It says so on the label, by the way. I give them kudos for that. Distilled in Indiana. Then they ship it to Las Vegas. Now, they tried to age some in Las Vegas, and apparently, because of the heat and everything, they lost like 20% of it, which is just ridiculous. So it gets aged in Indiana. And this comes from the top 2 floors of Indiana. So, of the Rick House. This son of a gun, and I don't know how, because of the high rye, I'm a little shocked. It is extremely fruity. There's a lot of fruit in this thing. It's got a nice sweetness, which I'm still shocked, because if you think of rye bread and how strong it is and how kind of spicy. And you think of cornbread was so sweet, and wheat bread, which is kind of neutral. This has no wheat. It has low corn. It has that high rye, but yet it's got a sweetness. It's got a caramel. It's got a brown sugar note to it, a vanilla. It's really good. And for the money, it's outstanding. About $38 or less than that. Can't remember what Jeff said. I know it was in the 30s. It might have been 34. Yeah, done a good job with this. Got a cool story. Got a cool label, especially the normal one, the non-Halloween one. The smell's really good. The smell is really good. The taste is fantastic. Like I say, 92.5 proof, non-chill filtered. I mean, it's a solid bourbon. And I'd heard about it. I didn't know, obviously I didn't know what to think about. I was dying to try it because I'd heard so many good things about it. And I'm gonna give it another good review. I mean, it's good. It's good, period, and it's exceptionally good for the money. Smoke Wagon, man. He did it good, and if I find any more of these, I think they have two different more types of bourbon expressions. I'm gonna buy them in a New York second. Don't know if we have them here. I didn't even know we had this until Jeff found it. Last time I was looking for this, it was not in Kentucky, where I'm from. I guess we didn't have a distributor. Now we do. Now I'm going to be looking for this, and I'm going to be looking for their other expressions to do on here. And I'm excited. I was excited to get this the first time. I was excited when I was looking for it, and I'm excited about finding the other ones. Yeah, it's meeting up to the hype. It's very good. All right, from Distilled, Brewed, and Reviewed, everybody. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe. Jeff, once again, I thank you, and I'll see you all in the next one.